Today I will talk about Mercury. Mercury is the planet of speech. Mercury is the planet of intellect. Mercury is related with mathematics. Mercury is related with journalism. Devi Saraswati is the goddess of Mercury. If we can worship regularly Devi Saraswati, then the power of Mercury in our natal chart will get increase. That means Devi Saraswati is the Devi of she is teacher, and Mercury and Jupiter is a combination of teaching. Mercury and Jupiter is a combination of journalism. All the reputed journalists of our country must have a Jupiter and Mercury combination in their birth chart, must have a placement of a strong Jupiter and Mercury combination, because this combination shows knowledge plus intelligent. Knowledge is Jupiter, intelligent is Mercury. Now our speech, our efficiency of speech is depending upon Mercury. The more we are fluent in our talking, the more we can express our feeling through our speech is a quality of Mercury. How will I express myself what I have learned from a book? Learning from the book and keeping it in our memory is a part of Mercury. And expressing it through our speech is the intellect. How will I express one word in 10 different ways? I will express one statement in 10 different patterns. Expressing one statement in 10 different patterns comes under the expertise of Mercury. How well placed is your Mercury in your natal chart will give you the talent to express yourself before the public, before a class of students, before a court, in a court of learned advocates, when you are in a way of your argument, and in the process of argument you are convincing the judge in the proper manner so that the order of the court comes in your favor, depending upon the placement of your Mercury. Mercury is the planet of speech. Mercury is the planet of memory. Mercury is the planet of grasp. How will you grasp your education? Something is being told by your teachers, and the way you will grasp that knowledge from him or her, from the teacher, is depending upon your Mercury. Mercury and Jupiter is Saraswati Yoga. Mercury and Jupiter is the combination of journalism. Mercury and Mars combination is of a crime journalist. Saturn Mercury combination is for political journalist. If somebody is related with cricket, if a journalist is showing something about cricket, about football, that means he is connected with Mars and Mercury. That means game and game related journalism is Bollywood related journalism is Venus plus Mercury. Press is coming under Mercury. If you were doing business of white papers, timbers, if you were doing business of pencils, is depending upon Mercury. Mercury, when gets combust by coming in front of the sun, the more the degree of combust, that means the more Mercury is near to the sun, the more the powerful the Buddhaditya yoga is. The more the degree of combust, the more the close The more Mercury is coming close to Sun, that means the power of Buddhaditya Yoga is increasing. Mercury is strong in the first house. Mercury is strong in the fourth house. Mercury is strong in the fifth house. Mercury is strong in the seventh house. Mercury is strong in the ninth house. Mercury is strong in the 10th house. Mercury is strong in the 11th house. Mercury get exalted in Virgo. Mercury gets debilitated in Pisces. Mercury's own house is Gemini. If you can please Lord Ganesha, then Lord Ganesha can help you regarding planetary ill effects. That means removing the planetary ill effects. If you have some ill effects in your Mercury in your birth chart, Lord Ganesha will remove those ill effects of Mercury. Mercury has enmity with Jupiter. Mercury don't like Jupiter at all. Jupiter loves Mercury, but Mercury don't like Jupiter at all. Moon likes Mercury. Mercury don't like Moon at all. Mercury's friend is Sun. Mercury's friend is Venus. Mercury's friends is Saturn. Rahu and Ketu is neutral towards Mercury. Rahu and Ketu is neutral towards Mercury. But if Mercury is placed in 8th, 12th, 6th and 3rd, and if is not in an exchange, and if not in an exalted sign, and that Mercury comes in conjunction with Rahu or Ketu, that Mercury is not benefic. That Mercury will obviously give bad results. That means Mercury placed in 8th, Mercury placed in 6th, Mercury placed in 3rd, Mercury placed in 12th, and is in conjunction with Rahu or Ketu. That Mercury will obviously give bad results. That Mercury is not benefic. If we see Albert Einstein's birth chart, Mercury is debilitated in Pisces, Moon is debilitated in Scorpio, and Mars is exalted in Capricorn. We see that in Albert Einstein birth chart that Mercury and Moon both are in Nijvanga Raj Yoga. Moon is mind. Moon is our thinking. Moon is our expression of mind. And Mercury is intellect. And without this both, he cannot be able to express E equal to mc square. E equal to mc square is nothing but Mars, Moon and Mercury's combination of intellect. Mars is speed. Moon is expression of mind. And Mercury is maths. Ketu is higher studies of maths. Mercury is our speech. What we are studying from a book. What we are studying from a book, I will express it to my students so clearly, so neat. I will make them totally clear the subject in such a well mannered, in such a fluent speech that they will not get confused. This can only be done with Mercury. That means my vocality, my vocal word, that my tongue and my words will be so much neat and clean that one word will not go above the another word. That somebody used to speak what they speak, Cannot be understood. One word comes, another after another. We don't understand what they are saying. A teacher must have a vocabulary speech. A teacher must have some quality in their speech. That means coaching centers, different kind of teachers in different subjects which they used to teach to their students. They must have a well vocabulary speech so that the students must not get confused in the class. This is the quality of Mercury. That from my speech, others will not get confused what I am trying to say. This is the quality of Mercury. Mercury is related with stock exchange. Mercury is related with business. How will I do my business? How will I spread my business? What kind of business I will do at what time of my life? If I will change my business or not, will all come under Mercury. Mercury is the planet of writing. A person with a very beautiful handwriting, a person in expertise in many languages must have a solid Mercury placement in their birth chart. Without Mercury, one will not be able to complete his graduation. Master degree, forget about master degree. Without a strong placement of Mercury, nobody will be able to complete his graduation. Master degree is the latest subject. It comes under Moon, Mars, Saturn, etc. and etc. Without a strong benefic placement of Mercury, I will not be able to complete my graduation. First point. Mercury is a very important planet in our birth chart. Mercury is related with our decision making. What kind of decision I will take is related with Mercury. Mercury is the planet of study. Mercury is the planet of business. Mercury is the planet of speech. Mercury is the planet of, if somebody has poor memory, that means he has definitely a problem with his Mercury, and he or she will have to boost up Mercury by wearing emerald. He or she can also worship Devi Saraswati or Lord Ganesha for boosting up Mercury. Mercury, if get exchanged with his enemy, then it is okay. Suppose Mercury is in the 12th house. Mercury is in the 12th house in the sign of Scorpio, and Mars is posited in Gemini or Virgo. Mercury is placed in Scorpio and Mars is placed in Gemini or Virgo. Then 4 houses in your birth chart will get boosted up. 2 houses of Mercury and 2 houses of Mars. Mercury and Mars are enemies, but 4 houses in your birth chart will get enhanced, will boost up because of the exchange. That means you have the courage of Mars and you have the intellect of Mercury with you. Mercury, if related with Moon in a strong conjunction, that means that person will be a mathematic honors. A mathematic honors, an expertise of maths must have a strong placement of Mercury with Moon. Jupiter and Mercury is the combination of journalism. But Mercury and Jupiter will not be able to give you a strong position regarding your career. It will only give knowledge. Whether you will acquire a great position in your life will depend upon your Sun and Saturn. Without Sun and Saturn, I will not say that the person with a strong placement of Mercury will reach a great position. I will not say that because I am only telling about Mercury. I am not telling about other planets right now. Now, poetry. Poetry, when comes under Mercury, each line, each statement of that poem is depending upon the placement of your Mercury. How will you express your mind through the statement? That statement will attract several readers. When I am expressing my mind through a statement, and that statement will attract several readers, that is my intellect, that is my way of writing, that is my charisma. Whether that statements of the poem of those verse will attract several persons or not, that is also depending upon Mercury, not alone Moon. Expressing one word, expressing one statement in 10 different style comes under Mercury. I will talk later about Mercury in several houses, like Mercury in first, what will happen Mercury in second, what will happen Mercury in third, what will happen Mercury in the fourth, crossing the 12 houses of Mercury. I am now only telling about the planets and their characteristics. I will continue later.